Dust clawed at her throat, turning each swallow to grit. 3 days of scorched plains and jagged stones had stripped the soles of her feet raw, but Emma kept walking. She didn't dare look back behind her. A ruin smoldered in her memory. The cabin torched at dawn, the faint echo of her father's last words choked in the rising smoke. Now only the sun and the endless sweep of dust claimed her as kin. Emma's dress clung to her like a ragged promise. The hem was shredded, stained by dirt and pinpricks of blood from every thorn and stone she'd braved. She clutched a length of faded ribbon in her hand, its once vivid red dulled by sun and sorrow. It was all she'd saved her mother's last gift, tied once to her braid before the fire took everything else. The wind shifted behind her. A low tremor of hooves rattled through the bones of the plain. She stiffened but didn't stop. If they'd come to finish what they'd started, so be it. She had no fight left. She only had her feet and the scrap of ribbon. A shadow fell across her shoulder. She turned her head just enough to glimpse him, a lone rider, dust trailing behind like a ghost refusing to settle. He sat easy in the saddle, hat pulled low, eyes hidden. His boots dragged loose in the stirrups. The horse, pale as dry bone, matched her steps without command. Emma waited for him to speak. A warning, a demand, a question, anything. But the man only watched her through the shifting light. When she stumbled, he nudged the horse closer, close enough for her to smell leather, sweat, and sun-scorched hide. Still he said nothing. The plain mocked them with its emptiness. A storm was brewing at the edge, dark clouds gathering, their promise of rain more threat than mercy. Emma felt her knees tremble, her breath hitched. 3 days, she thought. 3 days and I can't fall now. The rider's hand moved a slow, deliberate gesture. He dismounted in one fluid swing. His boots thudded softly against the cracked earth. Without a word, he unfastened his canteen and held it out. Emma stared at it like it might vanish. Her cracked lips parted, but no thank you escaped only. The quiet rasp of her pulse, loud in her ears, she drank. The water was warm, but it spilled life back into her ribs, dulled the ache in her bones. He waited, eyes unreadable beneath the shadow of his hat. When she handed the canteen back, her fingers brushed his. Calloused, rough like bark on an old tree. Steady. He turned away from her then, moving to the saddlebags. From the leather folds, he drew out an old pair of boots, men's boots. Too large. Worn soft at the seams, sawless, split from years of wandering. He knelt, dust rising between them, and set the boots by her feet, never once meeting her gaze. Emma's lips quivered. The boots were useless. They'd slipped from her feet in the first mile, but something in the offer's silence simple made. Her throat burned with tears she hadn't dared shed. She sank to her knees too, matching his silence. Her hands hovered over the boots, over his, rough and scarred. Words crowded her tongue but scattered like startled birds. Behind them, the wind howled. A crow wheeled overhead, cawing at the sky's roiling anger. He rose, tugged the reins gently. The horse nickered, shifting its weight. He mounted again in a single breath, and still nothing. No name, no promise, only the flick of his fingers. Come on, she understood. One boot, then the other. She slipped her ragged feet inside the battered leather, tied the ribbon to the laces so they wouldn't fall off. It looked foolish red on cracked brown, but she clung to it like a vow. She straightened, knees stiff, head pounding with the storm pressing close. He turned the horse east, away from the ruin she'd fled, away from the memories she could not bury. Emma stepped in beside the horse. No question of where. No question of who he was. His silence told her enough. The road ahead was hard enough to break 2 hearts. It needed no extra words to do it. Above them, thunder cracked sharp as a rifle's report. Rain hissed down, stinging her shoulders, mixing with the dust that painted her skin. She did not flinch. She did not falter. She walked on, step for Step with the horse, her feet cushioned by old leather, her mother's ribbon dancing like a heartbeat against her ankle. The man did not speak. He didn't need to. His presence beside her carved a path through the storm wide, enough for hope to creep in. Small, fragile, but a live dot, and in that stretch of battered earth where every breath scraped, every heartbeat drummed louder than the thunder Emma knew. The silence between them was not empty, it was a promise. One she'd walk through any storm to keep.